Shalom unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which will consider the 144,000 and the 1/3 of so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American descent by the seed of thy father. And first and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Chodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry, and believers that's in the faith that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson touching on this video, okay, which, as you can see, I have it queued up on the screen, which is one of the beloved brothers, okay, that part of the ministry. As you can see, the title of his channel, Arrows in the Nation 144. Okay, as you can see the video he upload, and it says Trump says NATO will not defend Babylon. These Edomites are divided on every level. Okay, and the reason why I'm going into, because when it goes into, we know that Trump, okay, represent America. Okay, he was once a former president of America. Okay, now here in 2024, which this is the election year coming up of the 2024 campaign of another president, okay, being voted in. And right now the current president, which we all know, is Joe Biden. Okay, but now Trump trying to make another run. And, a lot of people are, coming against his, campaign, okay, as trying to, be reelected. And, all before, when Trump been in office, okay, he always, make statements against NATO, which is out of the European nations, the EU. Okay, NATO is the military might, okay, of the European system, and America is allies with NATO or the European countries. But now we're coming into the time that the Lord is bringing division, okay, and eventually, as is prophecy, you're gonna have a third world war, okay, that going to lead to America destruction by the way of thermonuclear fire, and mainly by the hands of Russia, okay, which are Edomites as well, the so-called white race. But over there in Europe, you're even going to have certain members of NATO that supposedly that's allies with America is going to turn on this place. And we already see the friction. Because a lot of these EU countries, starting with their, their government affairs and economy, is starting to, do away with the ways of America, not trusting in America, especially when it comes to the dollar, when it comes to certain aid, okay, because over here in America, you even got America putting sanctions on their own allies, okay, such as over there in Europe. Okay, you got one of the NATO nations or European nations, Turkey, okay, ready to side with Russia, okay, Germany, okay, all because due to the ill dealings of America. And that's the pride of this place, okay, because due to the advanced military, they feel like, they don't really need nobody, okay, which NATO is their own allies. And America is extension from out of the EU, okay, which is, America came from the off branch of Britain or England. Okay, you already see certain frictions between even members of the EU and NATO. And you have America stirring up a lot of wars and trouble when it comes to these nations. Okay, such as, the situation with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, China and Taiwan. Okay, North Korea and South Korea. Okay, Iran and Israel and America, have they stake into all those, business affair that don't really concern them. Okay, especially when it comes to those so-called Middle Eastern countries. Okay, America have its uh, military bases all throughout the country, all throughout the East, the Middle East, as they say, or Asia Minor. And behind that, they come with the democracy. And if you're not following suit with America saying, they're coming with sanctions. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video to show you the times that we're in the time of division when it comes to these Edomites. Okay, when it comes to certain superpowers, and this is a clear sign that Esau Edom is almost is coming to the end. Okay, so let's see what Trump have to say.
Ukraine's an interesting case. People always want to know my feeling. Number one, we're in for 200 billion plus, and the European nations are in for 20 billion. And it's more important for them. And don't you think they should equalize? Nobody asks them. It's like I did with NATO. I said, we're spending, we're paying for NATO, and we don't get so much out of it. And I hate to tell you this about NATO. If we ever needed their help, let's say we were attacked, I don't believe they'd be there. I don't believe. I know the people. I know them. I can tell you country by country who would be there, but I don't believe they'd be there. But I took care. Ukraine's an interesting case. People always want to know my feeling. Number one, we're in for 200 billion plus, and the European nations are in for 20 billion. And it's more important for them. And don't you think they should equalize? Nobody asks them. It's like I did with NATO. I said, we're spending, we're paying for NATO, and we don't get so much out of it. And I hate to tell you this about NATO. If we ever needed their help, let's say we were attacked, I don't believe they'd be there. I don't believe. I know the people. I know them. I can tell you country by country who would be there, but I don't believe they'd be there. But I took care.
Okay, so that's going into division. Okay, and that's all part of biblical prophecy. Okay, because now you're starting to see who's taking sides of who's with America, who's against America when it comes to military action, when it comes to financial gain. Okay, the certain economy, the dollar, at which we know eventually these elites of Esau Edom that control everything, which they're spearheaded out of Europe. Okay, when it comes to these central bankers, okay, ready to pull the plug on the economy worldwide, especially this place, America, and bring forth the prophecy of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, going into the RFID micro, which is known as the mark of the beast or the MOTB. But leading up to that, you start to see frictions, division amongst these Edomites. Okay, and all these elites worrying about who gonna be the next superpower they can, control. Okay, to better their NWO. Okay, who they can rule out of, and they see America going down. Okay, like I said, because you're starting to see all these nations that got nuclear capability about ready to come against this place. Okay, starting with Russia, China, okay, and even NATO, members of the EU, military form, okay, in the form of NATO, okay, which NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, where you had all those European countries, okay, decide that they're going to come together as a joint military, okay, and America is part of that, and Canada as well. Okay, just look up the members of NATO today. Okay, but the NATO is the military branch of the EU. But now you're starting to even see their vision. And you got Trump just now saying that he don't even believe that NATO would help defend America if they're going to war, if they're going to combat. Okay, so all points towards that this place is about to head for its destruction, and the Lord raising up the nations, even their own counterpart, the American counterpart of these EU nations, ready to turn on this place, man. Okay, because America done, did too much damage. Okay, they're too controlling. Okay, they're too prideful. Okay, they think they don't need nobody. They don't even need their own allies. They can take down any nation. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the scriptures, and I'm gonna start off with Daniel chapter 7, verse 20, and it says, "And of the 10 horns that were in his head," okay, going into the 10 vassal states, okay, which was known as Rome back then, okay, but this is Rome all over again, okay, in the form of the EU, NATO, and America, okay, because before NATO was officially named NATO, as I may mention, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, okay, it was known as the Club of Rome. So the EU and America and NATO is Rome all over again, okay, and it says, "In the 10 horns that was in his head, and of the other which came up before whom 3 fell." Yeah, that's going to the time when Esau Edom came over here and seized the land from the Native Americans, the Seminole Indians, okay, from the Northern Kingdom, okay, which happened to be Israelites, okay. We already know about the history, how America was stolen. And the 3 horns represent the Spanish, the French, and the England, England, okay. And it says, and before whom three fell, even that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, which was more stout than his fellow. Yeah, because out of the 3 horns, America, okay, like I said, you had the Spanish, the French, and the Britain or England, okay, that primarily those Edomites that took the land and was fighting over it. But then you had the existence out of America that came from England, okay. And ever since then, America was ruling on top over all nations, okay. And it says, even that horn that had eyes, a mouth that speak very great things. Is that what you see in America doing now? They boasting, okay, in their military might, okay. They're all nations that have taken a hold unto the American dollar, which is nothing but debt. Okay, you see more and more of how America boasted in its riches, its wealth, its influence on the world when it comes to them dominate the world, which all of it is biblical prophecy, okay, because all are going to lead to this place being brought down, okay, physically, okay, the morals of these people, the infrastructure, okay, and ultimately this place being destroyed by fire. And it says, even of that horn that had eyes, going into America, a mouth that speak very great things, whose look was more stout than its fellows. Yeah, so America, to the point that, when they go to these certain world summits, they got to be at the forefront. Okay, they got to have the say so. Okay, even when it comes to their own European allies. Okay, and y'all got to pay us. Okay, y'all got to aid in when it comes to this war. We don't put our money in. Okay, where your portion at? Okay, where your aid at? Okay, so it said they look more stout than their fellows. Okay, so that's what that's going into. And America is the most proudest country or corporation here on the earth, man. Even when in the time of adversity, this place is about to fall, okay, they still look down upon other nations. Okay, that's why these other nations starting to see America is, for the taking. Okay, especially when it comes to the military might. Okay, how the military is more weakening. Okay, when it comes to the dollar, these other nations starting to ditch it, or do away with it. Okay, they starting to see more and more how America, the outcome of America when it comes to its citizens. They seeing the problems over here on America's own shores, the divisions over here between the American citizens and their government. So they looking at America as for the taking, and all that is biblical prophecy. Okay. Let me see, because like I said, America came out of England, out of Britain. And they'll say that, during the time of the 4th of July, that's when America got their independence for Great Britain, okay, or from England. Hey, but in all actuality, Britain still owned America. Okay, that's why these EU nations feel no bluff from America. Okay, they feel like America need them more than American, the US or America need the EU. Okay, and like I said, you even got division amongst these other amongst the EU nations in America. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna get that when they go into the 10 toes. But let me get this real quick, because I made mention America came out of England. What's that's Jeremiah chapter 50. Let me see, verse 12. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. And when it says that your mother shall be sore confounded, going into Britain, okay, or England, that America standing out of, okay, America was born or was prospered, okay, from the time of the Britain or England ruling, okay, over here in the States, which is known as the States today. But America, was born out of Britain, okay, or England, okay, I, say England, okay. So that's what it means. It says your mother shall be sore confounded. So these EU nations, including England, okay, including Germany, France, Turkey, okay, all of them starting to, look at as America is the problem, okay, especially how America is boasting itself when it comes to their own allies, going against their own allies. And it says, your mother shall be so confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a witness in a dry land in the desert. And that's going into the Third World War over there in the Asia Minor or the Middle East. Okay, because the Third World War is going to start off as a war over there in the Middle East, as you can see now. Over there in the Euphrates, over there between Saudi Arabia, Iraq, or in Afghanistan, okay, Iran, okay, that's where is going to take place at. Okay, the troops, okay, all boots on the ground, okay, and it's already a hot zone over there since the Desert Storms, okay, going into the late 80s, okay, the Afghan war, the Iraq war, okay, now you got that whole situation with Israel and Palestine. That's all Yahweh Shema Shah brewing this Third World War. They're eventually going to lead to this place being destroyed by missiles. And you're going to have certain members of NATO going to be part of that. America's own allies shooting missiles on this place right along with these other nations of the American enemies that got nuclear capability. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. It shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. In the spiritual Babylon, Babylon and Great, is America. Okay, and it says it's going to be desolate by the way of the missiles. Okay, verse 14. Put yourself array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's the total annihilation of this place, America, by the way of thermonuclear fire, okay, which is known in the scriptures as the sword or arrows, okay? So this place is going to be totally destroyed because it has sinned against the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. Because here in America, this place is known for what? The captivity of us, the bloodshed, the enslavement of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay? The blaspheming of the Holy Bible, saying that this place, America, was built on Christian value. Off the Bible is the law of the land, which everything they doing now is opposite, contrary. Okay, here in America, they push that who the world called Christ is a so-called white man, which that image go back to Cesare Borgia, the Borgia family during the time of the Renaissance. Okay, the rebirth. Okay, which that picture, that false image, was painted by Leonardo da Vinci and Michael Angelo. Okay, and still to this day, our people look up to that image as being the son of the Most High. Okay, being the so-called white man, which in all actuality, who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai, the true name in the Hebrew. Okay, that he's a so-called black man or a so-called dark-skinned man. Okay, which is known as the so-called Negroes today, which is of the tribe of Judah. Okay, so that's another reason why this place is going to be destroyed. Okay, blaspheming against the Heavenly Father image, saying that he's a so-called white man, which in all actuality, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is a so-called dark-skinned man. Okay, and all the filthiness and wickedness that is how this place is, full of blood. Still to this day, America is known for violence. Okay, look at the crime. Okay, when it comes to all nations, including the wickedness of our people, the bloodshed of our people, murdering each other. Okay, and all the filthiness and abominable acts that's going on here in America that they allow, the witchcraft, the entertainment, the movies, okay, the music, the unjust laws. Okay, so there's many reasons why Yahweh Bashim Shai got this place prophesied to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and we coming in that time. And even America's own allies gonna trade in this place, trade on them, and help aid into this place destruction. So that's it on that. So all these nations starting to come against America. Okay. Let me get this. Like I said, I'm gonna go to Daniel. But that's the cause like I said, there's so much division, even amongst the NATO members. They're ready to go to war with America and within themselves. That's Daniel. I'll do it like this. I'm gonna go to Daniel, Daniel chapter 2, I'll start off at verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. And this is going into the ancient Roman Empire, which I made mention earlier in my video, that America and NATO and the EU is Rome coming back into power. Okay, ever since the time of the Renaissance. Okay, the rebirth. Okay, so this is spiritual Rome all over again. Okay, the Edomites coming back into power. And it says, the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as iron breaketh pieces and subdued all things. And the Roman Empire was known for their vast military force, okay, by the way of their weapons made out of iron. Okay, and so fast forward today, okay, the EU, NATO, okay, America is known for their military might, okay? And it says, and breaking pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Okay, the military force. And as whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay and part iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Okay, so this is going into this is going into the the time we in now. Okay, the 10 toes. Okay, that can be that go with the 10 horns. Okay, but the 10 horns, the 10 toes represent, the European system at this time. Okay, the vassal states, which is more than 10 now. Okay, and including America. Okay, part of the NATO Union when it comes to the joint military forces over there in the EU. You got other countries as well, okay, but mainly America, okay, that I'm focusing on because the EU, NATO, going to be to play a key part into this place destruction as well. And you even had Trump say that they ain't going to fend us when we go to war. Okay, and he exactly right, because they're going to be certain members of NATO when it comes to their military force going to trade on them. Okay, as is biblical prophecy, as we read it now. And it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, part iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but they shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Yeah, and iron and clay, okay, can't mix. Okay, iron is way stronger than clay. Okay, and the clay represent certain European nations financially. Okay, that's having problems financially. Okay, when it comes to their economy. So a lot of those European countries over there is not, they divided. Okay, when it comes to financially. Okay, when it comes to certain policies, that's why you have the such thing about a couple of years ago called the Brexit. Okay, it's an even division amongst them. Okay, and you got America mixing to all that, man, causing problems. America putting sanctions on them. Okay, to help furthermore worsen their country that they ain't able to do trades amongst other countries, other nations that better their economy. And it says, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. So you got certain EU nations right along with their military force when it comes to NATO. You got certain of them that's strong, and you got half of them that's strong, and you got half of them that's are weak. Okay, and it says, let me see. And it says, in those days, these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And that's coming to the time when Yahweh Shai returned with the host of angels, what the world called UFOs, the chariots, to come bring the destruction of Esau Edom Empire. Okay, all the Edomites gonna go down. Okay, when it comes to their superpower, the EU, NATO, America, Russia, okay, Israel, okay, and all these heathen nations that got military alliance or forces, all of them gonna be taken down. Okay, primarily the Edomites, and after that, all of them gonna go into slavery. Start with the Edomites, start with the elites that's gonna escape the destruction from those missiles, as they're gonna be in their retreats, their bunkers. Okay, just to be reserved for captivity once Yahweh Shai established his kingdom, which is by default the kingdom of Israel. Start with the elect, the body government of Yahweh Shai kingdom. Okay. So let me see. And it says, in these days, these kings shall the God of heaven set up the kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Okay, meaning that ain't gonna be no other nations being saved. Okay, the only nation that's gonna be saved is the nation of Israel, and at this time, starting with the elect. Okay, because 2/3 of our people here in America are gonna be destroyed, and they're gonna have to come back in the kingdom, being the sons and daughters or the offspring of the elect. And that's how eventually, as a whole, all Israel is going to be set up in the kingdom. But right now, it's starting with the elect. Okay, and these other nations, as I make mention, they're going to go into captivity, starting with the biblical Edomites. Okay, and you heathens that down on this side here in America, you're going to come back in the kingdom through your offspring being slaves. Okay, keep it simple as that. Okay, and Trump going to be amongst them. Let me continue on. Let me see. And it says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay, and that's our kingdom, the kingdom of Israel, okay, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. So that's it on that. I wanted to get that going to the point how the 10 toes representing the EU, okay, how they divided and right along with America. So let me get this. what that's I want to get when the Lord gonna put the spirit on these NATO nations, certain members of NATO, to shoot their missiles upon this place, America. Okay, that's Revelation chapter 17, verse. Let me start at 10, and it says, "And there are 7 kings." Let me see. Yeah. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. They're going into the time of the Roman Empire fell. Okay, then they, came back into power. Okay, then you had, like I said, then you had also you got the 7 heads of the dragon. Okay, which is modern day West Germany, East Germany, France, Spain, Rome, England, and Greece. Okay, and out of those 7 heads, okay, America became the 8th out of as I made mention, England or Britain. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he come, he must continue a short space. And this is going into the coming destruction of America. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, okay, America, and is of the 7. Okay, like I said, because out of those 7 heads, you had Britain amongst them, or England amongst them, and America standing out of England, which would make up the 8th. Okay, and the beast that was and is not, even the 8th, is of the 7, goeth into perdition. Yeah, perdition means destruction, because ultimately this place is going to be destroyed once again by the missiles, and you're going to have certain members of NATO going to be part of that. And it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. Okay, those vessel states. Okay, those NATO members. Okay, that Lord going to put the spirit on those to shoot their missiles upon this place, America, right along with Russia and all those other countries that the Lord going to use that have nuclear capability to totally annihilate this place. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdoms yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So they're going to come that appointed time when the Lord going to put the spirit on them, okay, in that 1 hour, because that's all they're going to take for this place to be destroyed. 1 hour, okay, by the way of the missiles and the chariots bringing fire. Okay, in the time of Yahushua bringing judgment and salvation to the elect of the nation of Israel. And it says, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay, and the beast represent what? NATO. Okay. And it says, and they shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Because at that time, simultaneously, you're going to have these nations fighting against Yahushua when he invade with the so-called UFOs, the chariots. Okay, if you can receive that. Okay. And Yahushua is going to take all these nations down. But also at that time, the Lord is going to allow those missiles going to be launched on America. And you're going to have certain members of NATO of that. Okay, they're going to be part of that. And it says, and they shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of hosts, the Lord of lords, and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen, are faithful. And that's us, of the hopeful elect. They're destined to be saved. Okay, that part of the Lord's fold. Okay, so when they go against, trying to, fight against Yahushua with their military, with their space force, okay, when Yahushua returns, he's going to decimate them. Okay, and that's going to be the end of Esau, Edom, power, structure, and these heathen nations. Okay, because all these nations are going to be fighting against each other during the time of the Third World War. And when Yahushua intervene, the Lord going to put the spirit on them to fight against him, and they ain't going to prevail. Okay, and the Lord going to show, Yahushua going to show the supreme power. Okay, and eventually going to go into captivity. And it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest with the whore sitteth, the whore represent America. Okay, the whore that rideth the beast. Okay, when you read up in this chapter, okay, Revelation 17 and 1 as well. 17, Revelation chapter 17 and Revelation 18. Okay, So I just want to get straight to the point. So the whore represent America, because America is known for its philosophies, okay, when it comes to dealing with all these other countries, okay. And it says, continue on, and it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Because you have all nations over here in America, okay. You have all the tribes of Israel over here, okay. You know that's over here, okay. Of course, we scattered worldwide, okay. But you got Israelites over here. You got the Chinese. You got the Arabs. You got the original Africans, Edomites, East Indians, Persians, all nations over here in America. Okay, as we know, it's a saying, the great melting pot. Okay, and all these nations that's over here are going to be set for judgment. Okay, including 2/3 of our people, especially the ones of our people that take that MOTB. Because according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, that's going to be their judgment. Okay, being destroyed by the missiles. So you have all nations over here at this time. Because all nations once upon a time was influenced by America. And you have all nations that came over here. Generations of nations now, of these heathen nations that's over here, that done got Americanized or westernized. Okay? And it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Okay, tongues represent languages. Okay, so that means you got all type of nations over here. Okay, seeking for that American dream. Okay. And it says, and the 10 horn which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Okay, once again, those NATO members, okay, they're going to turn on this place. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And once again, that fire represents those thermonuclear missiles, okay, that they're going to launch upon this place, okay, NATO, certain members of NATO, and even, like I say, right along with Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, okay, and it's all going to be the purpose for what? So verse 17, for Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to greed, and give their kingdoms unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall be fulfilled. So all of it for the purpose of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And it says, and a woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that's America. Okay, so eventually all these nations are going to rise up against America. And this place is going to be destroyed. Okay, so that's it on that. So you're starting to see the division. Not end off with this. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and horse represent power in the scriptures. Okay? And it said that it was red, and that's going to the power structure of Esau, Edom. Because when you look into the word Edom, okay, Adawam in the Hebrew, meaning red. Okay? And when you look at these Edomites, the pure Edomites, because you got Israelites scattered amongst all nations, so you're going to have Israelites looking like even so-called white people or Edomites. Okay, you're going to have Israelites looking like that. Okay, but if their bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, or Negro, Latino, Native American descent by the seed of their father, they're Israelites. Okay, but the original Edomites, okay, so-called white people, that bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, okay, they are the wicked. And the Lord put a curse on them, okay, a leprosy, okay, that their blood shall forth through their skin, okay. That's why they're known to be red, not white, okay. They're not white. That's a false identity put upon itself, okay. They're actually red, and that's where you get the term Edom from, okay. So when you see here in verse 4 that they went out another horse, okay, represent power, that was red, going into Esau, Edom, okay, the power structure. And power, once again, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And we clearly see ever since Esau, Edom has been in power, he have taken peace from the earth. Okay. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, so that division, they're going against each other now. And that sword represent their military might. Okay, in the form mainly the main greatness of their sword is those missiles. Okay, and the Lord gonna have it to the point that they're gonna be so divided that you're gonna even have Edomites over there in Europe, okay, amongst NATO, and even Edomites amongst the Russians, okay, gonna shoot their missiles on their counterpart Edomites over here in America. Okay, so the point of the lesson is that the Lord even got these Edomites divided amongst each other, that they're ready to go to war with each other. Okay, to the point it's going to lead to this Third World War, that the Lord going to put the spirit on members of NATO and Russia once again to shoot their missiles upon America, right along with the rest of these other nations that got nuclear capability. So I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that the lesson be edifying. Until the next time, Lord willing, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.